Welcome to the Focus Fitpreneur Show with my featured guest, Karla Gambell.
Hi, I am Karla Gambell, or otherwise known as Coach Karla. I'm a performance mentor, IFBB Elite Pro figure athlete, fitness coach and transformation specialist and educator. I have spent decades in the gym and on the competition stage, and of course running my own studio and gym. I'm really excited to be here with you today, where I will help you understand some of the key steps to launching a successful online fitness business.
Hello, this is Coach Grazy, your personal high performance coach, and a warm welcome to all the high achievers and inspired fitpreneurs joining us today. I'm really excited that you're here with us today. I appreciate you and the incredible things that you are already doing or are about to do. A shout out and a thank you to all of our friends and listeners in Ipswich, Queensland, Australia today. Make sure you stay tuned, and you might want to have a notepad handy. I have a great friend and an amazing human with me today. She is an elite IFBB Figure Pro champion, a world-class athlete, an inspiring health and fitness mentor and educator. She's got decades of experience in the fitness industry, both as an elite competitor and a business owner. And we're going to be talking about a very important topic in today's fitness economy: how to launch and sustain a successful online fitness business. Now, help me welcome our featured guest. She is an elite athlete, but fun fact, she believes there must be room in life for things that you love, like hunting for great breakfast spots and indulging in delicious foods. She's a mum of a beautiful teenage boy, and her gift is helping others believe in themselves again. And this is evidenced by the many lives that she's touched and helped over the years. My guest today is Karla Gambell. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. I'm really excited to be here. So where do we start?
Today, Karla, we're going to be digging down into your story, your career, your business. You have had so many successes in the fitness industry, both as an elite athlete and business owner. And on topic with today's show, a successful online coach. And I want you to share with our audience how you did all of that and why it was so important for you to go out there and create a big impact on people's lives, why you did it, and what you discovered about how to turn that incredible impact into something so positive in your life. I know there are many purpose-driven people listening to the Focus Fitpreneur Show. People with big hearts and a desire to also make a big impact, who have not yet started or have not yet built their online career, business, or the income that they really want and deserve. Whether you are just starting out or already have financial success in the amazing fitness industry, or you really want to launch or leverage and explode your career and business, my guest and I are here to greet you at the place that you're at and help you go to the next level as a high-performance focused fitpreneur. So, Karla, let's start at the beginning. Where did this all start for you? Where did your passion and desire to impact people's lives come from? Because that's what you do, impact and transform people's lives. Where did that all start?
Okay, wow. So we're probably going to go back a little ways. I think it all really began when I went back and did my health sciences in sports injury rehab. And that's where I really developed a passion for health, the human body, how it all works and how it goes together. And I've always sort of had that caring, nurturing kind of character, I guess. So it all sort of compounded from there, but it really accelerated when I had my son, and I had gained a fair bit of weight after he was born, not so much during my pregnancy. I actually had a really cruisy pregnancy.
Lucky you.
I know, right? The birth, on the other hand, was a totally different story, quite traumatic. But in the aftermath of giving birth, those first 12 weeks were a nightmare for me. And I know they are for a lot of mums, a lot of new mums.
If you've been in the fitness industry coaching long enough, it is a
It's everywhere.
massive issue that a lot of people need a lot of help with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think women in that stage of life, they've known who they were, and then all of a sudden they lose their identity because they're so consumed with looking after this little apprentice human,
Yep.
right?
Pretty human. I love that.
So I actually did put on a lot of weight in those first 12 weeks. I'd always been pretty fit, healthy, always into sports, and it just shook me. And I found myself in a position where didn't want to go out to socialize. None of my clothes fitted me. And I just didn't really like myself. I kind of got to that point where I'm like, this is it. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I do not want to be one of those mums who uses having a child as an excuse to be overweight, unfit, unhealthy. This is where I'm drawing the line, and this is where I take control back.
Good on you. That's brilliant.
And that's where I guess I had my own experience with my personal transformation. And that's when I started competing.
Yeah, because yours wasn't just, I'm going to go and get my fitness qualifications to become a PT. Yours was, I'm going to become an elite athlete. I mean,
Yeah, a little bit crazy.
you're in the 1%. I mean, that's like a hell of a lot more ambitious than most of us. So that was
A
just
little bit
brilliant.
crazy with
Yeah.
newborn and prepping for my first comp.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to listen to the excuses in my head anymore. And I think that's where a lot of women and some men too, that's where a lot of people get stuck and they plateau in that kind of arena for far too long. So I thought, if I can do this, and I did, I got up on stage when Harlem, my son, was 8 months old, and I did my first competition. I lost 20 kilos in that time. And that's when I absolutely fell in love with competing and how much you actually learn, not just physically, but how mentally strong you have to be to get your physique to that level. And I thought, if I can do it, there's other women out there that have that internal drive in them to be thinking, I know there's more in me. I know there's more for me, but they just don't know how to tap into that. It did kind of start from my own transformation experience, and the rest is history.
It's hard to describe the mindset and the discipline that it takes to achieve the physical transformation that you had to go through to get on stage, to get on the podium, to position yourself in those competitions. It is a whole nother level. And most of the general population, they struggle with the discipline just to get to the gym, just to get moving. Because I've been there personally, and it's a huge step to take when you're dad of 2 young boys. I had to look after the boys myself. I'm running my own business. I'm running my own coaching program. It is so difficult. And I mean, that's why we need coaches and mentors. Even you and I, we need coaches and mentors.
That's right.
Everyone does, to help inspire us to grow. So you've made this transition, you've achieved incredible success competition-wise. Then you decided to get into the industry because I know, for decades, you were a Pilates studio owner, you've owned a gym. That, again, is a massive leap, and you did that successfully for quite some time. So what made you go from athlete to commercial? What made you want to share this? So, can you tell us what inspired you to do that?
I think it was a natural progression. I competed every year for 15 years straight with my husband, George, as my coach. As you say, everyone needs a coach or mentor. It doesn't matter what level you're at. I learned so much from him. We had our own gym for many years. So for many years, I was helping run the business, competing, being a mum, all at once, juggling as we do. And I think after a period of time, it really made me reevaluate what I wanted and what fills my cup. I love coaching people. There's something about it that fills my cup right to the brim. And when you get messages from clients from years ago, a thank you message saying, I still remember our coaching sessions and our times in the gym. You've helped transform my life. I've still got your voice in my head when I'm doing certain exercises, like that.
There's nothing compares with it. There's nothing compares with knowing at your core that you
Yeah.
have changed somebody else's life for the better. You
Yeah.
know it at your
No.
core. It's not financial. It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's so addictive, isn't it? I mean, it's just that helping others and succeeding at helping others is just wonderful. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you learn that along the way. And hanging up my competition shoes and retiring, I thought I would just naturally go into coaching others to the stage. Wherein, and I still do that, but they're a very small percentage of my clientele. The rest of my clientele are just everyday people that know there's something more for them, but they just don't know where to start. As you say, they need that mentorship. They need the guidance. And I think I will coach until I'm in the grave because like you say, there's nothing better than getting a bit of a message or feedback from someone from your past that says you changed everything. Thank you so much. I've got clients that are still with me after 2, 3 years. They won't leave.
And then from there, the next level of it is helping others become great coaches. Because when we are training and coaching other humans one on one or in a group environment, we are limited by the time that we have. You can only coach so many people, and it is exhausting physically and mentally. Mentally, probably more so than physically, because you're taking on so many problems from so many people. But at the end of the day, you're swapping time for money. But that's where we've all got to start. And then you transitioned into coaching other coaches, helping other coaches do what you do. And that's when you see critical mass. That's when you see exponential growth. That's when you help another coach help a heap of people. And by helping one person, you are helping a community. It's a beautiful thing. And you have the experience. You've got the professional experience. You've got the internal experience. You've got the commercial experience. You've been through the mum thing. You've come out of it the other side, and you're still going and having great success. And now you're coaching others. Today, what we're about is trying to introduce to our listeners the online side of PT business or of coaching businesses. And unfortunately, there is a misconception because of the way that it gets presented to a lot of people that, hey, you just set up a website or set up a little app or set up a spreadsheet, go online, you're going to make lots of money and sitting on the beach doing nothing. It is not like that at all. Can you just tell us and tell the listeners a little bit about, yes, it's great to have that face-to-face. We all believe in that. That's very, very important. But why is online important these days? Why do we need it? And why do we need to make sure that when we're setting up our online businesses, we're doing it right? We're getting the structure right.
Yeah, great. So I think online is important in these days, and especially for coaches. What you said before was critical in that when you're in a face-to-face business, you're very limited with how many people you can serve. There's only so many hours in the day, whereas online really opens up that field to be unlimited. It means that you can reach more people and not just in your immediate vicinity. You can be reaching people all across the country and across the globe. I've got clients in Germany, in the UK, in the US. I even had one client in Trinidad at one stage. Your knowledge, your personality, your passion, your purpose is spread further than what you could in just a face-to-face scenario. It's not just about getting online and just waiting for the flocks of people to come to you. There's definitely a process. With any business, it's It has its trials and tribulations. I've certainly been through that in my online business. You learn from your failures, and they're not really failures, they're just feedback.
This is a message that I try and get across to the listeners. You've been there, you've done it, you've had failures, and you've succeeded. So you are the perfect mentor. Why would somebody want to try and start from scratch and make all those same mistakes? That doesn't make sense. Why not find somebody like you who can help them avoid those mistakes? You've still got to pass the knowledge on of what those errors were, but fast track that launching process. And I've seen your online coaching program. It's amazing. And it's actually really simple. I mean, when I first looked at online, I'm thinking, oh my God, technology, apps, all this stuff. I'm a people person. I just want to be in the gym in front of my clients. How am I ever going to do this? But you've showed me, and I know you've showed lots of other people, it, don't get overwhelmed by all of that. You can actually start very simply, can't you? With very simple spreadsheets and very simple processes, you can be highly effective. That's something that really inspired me that I learned from you. That's true, isn't it? You don't need to be a tech guru.
No, you don't. I was definitely not, and still am not a tech guru, that's for sure. At the beginning, I didn't even know how to work Zoom, so that was interesting, trying to talk to clients and I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Where's the mute button, So you have to be real. You have to be willing to put yourself out there in order to grow. You have to be willing to stumble in order to learn and grow and become better at what you do. That's the definition of growth, being open-minded and being willing to put yourself on the line and get uncomfortable, and soon it will become comfortable and then get uncomfortable again, because that's where growth is.
The mindset. It's the mindset. It's how you became such an elite athlete. And it's exactly the same when you apply it to your business. And when you do, you'll succeed. It's as simple as that.
That's right.
Okay. And with that, guys, we'll be right back. We're here with Karla Gambell, and we'll be back with the focused Fitpreneur business questions and some insights on launching your career or business online right after this. Attention, health and fitness students, industry professionals, business owners, coaches, and entrepreneurs. Do you want to grow your health and fitness side hustle, career, and/or business to six figures or even higher? Do you want to find time freedom and financial security? Anyone, regardless of where they are right now, can get stuck and not know which steps to take next. And that's why my special gift to you is the On Top Performance Academy's Fast Track Formula. It contains the exact steps I and many other high-performance coaches have used to make six figures and beyond, and it's exactly what you need to build your own successful health and fitness side hustle, career, and/or business. It's my gift to you, and you will also be able to access our featured guests, tips, guides, and coaching programs. Simply go to www.ontopper.com.au. That's www.ontop, P for performance, A for academy.com.au, or use the link in the show's description. Welcome back. I'm Coach Grazy, your high performance coach, and I'm here with the amazing Karla Gambell. Karla, can I start this segment by asking you what inspired you to add an online component to your business? As you're such an incredible social person who enjoys the company of others, hence your face-to-face businesses that you've had throughout your career. What inspired the change to online?
I was forced into it, really, when COVID hit. I'm originally from Melbourne, and we pretty much lost everything. So we were forced to think of something else and to get out of our comfort zone. And that's when I sought out a professional coach to help me pivot online, because I had no idea what I was doing.
And that's the key. It's having someone there to help you. That's come from your past anyway. There's no way that you would have achieved the incredible success as an elite athlete that you did doing it alone. You had to have a coach. And so your immediate go-to is, I need to pivot. I need to change. I need to take my business in a direction that I'm not familiar with. So what do? Go and get a coach.
That's right.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. If you were to give the listeners one tip about going online, what would that be?
Get clarity and keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate things. Your business will evolve as you go. So keep things really simple at the start, but make sure that you've got real clarity on who you help, how you help them, so that your message comes across really clear. But keep things simple, and absolutely seek out a mentor or a coach or someone who has been there, been down the path that you're wanting to go, because I know it made a massive difference to me.
Okay, so it's time for the focused Fitpreneur
Okay.
questions. I ask these same questions of all of our guests, so no pressure. I know you're going to do a fantastic job. Okay, so what are the three key things that you've learnt through your journey that would help any fitpreneurs listening succeed online in the health and fitness industry? What are the three things?
Okay, so probably the first one is definitely discipline beats motivation every single time. Discipline to stay consistent with your daily activities in your business. Motivation will come and go. So you can't rely on when you're feeling motivated to take action.
I
You
love
need to,
that.
yeah, you need to keep consistent, and that requires discipline. Secondly, I think don't be afraid to make mistakes or fail, because they truly are feedback. And like I was saying before, that's where the real growth occurs. So don't be frightened to take action because you don't want to fail, because a lot of those failings are a stepping stone to that next growth period. And thirdly, absolutely get yourself a mentor. 100%. Like, highly recommend it. I did it and it helped me so much. And it just gives you a clear picture of where you're going, rather than having no idea and having all these things floating around in your head thinking, where do I start?
It's funny that we have to tell people that are entering into the coaching business that they need a coach,
Yeah, I
isn't
know.
it? But
Yeah,
it's true. It's like we
it's so true.
sometimes we look at it as like, I don't need a coach. Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's the
do.
business you're in. You need a coach. Go and get one. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Number two, what's a resource, a tool, or a book that you would recommend and why?
Love this. Okay, full transparency. I'm not much of a reader. I love listening and I'm a very visual person. However, I love hearing about people's stories and their journeys. And there are actually two books that made a huge impact on me, and that was Never Finished and Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Seriously, game changer. So just because he's a motivational speaker and he's this crazy endurance athlete, it doesn't mean that his books are just about that. There is so much depth in his story, overcoming his really difficult childhood, his learning disabilities, and then being able to build that internal strength and mindset, that doesn't just correlate to physical performance. It can also correlate to every other aspect of your life, so in your business as well. So, amazing
Fantastic. They're on my list. I haven't
books.
read them, but I will.
They're amazing.
Fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful. Okay, so number three, if you were starting out again, how would you do it differently? I know this is a big question. To try and keep it short and concise. What would you do differently?
I think I would pat myself on the back and say, believe in yourself more, back yourself more, even though this is an unknown area, you can do it. You've got the expertise in your coaching. You know how to relate to people. Use your strengths to improve on your weaknesses, and they will soon become your strengths.
That's beautiful advice. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, number 4, what might be a challenge or obstacle that you might need to overcome to reach your next goal?
One thing my first business coach said to me, the best thing about having your own business, especially online, is you can work your own hours. The worst thing about having your own business is you can work your own hours.
It's so true. It is so true.
So there's that trap of going, pedal to the metal 24/7.
But I think that often the listeners might immediately be thinking, okay, working your own hours means that you can just go to the beach. Often what happens is the complete opposite. You start working 20 of the 24 hours in the day, particularly
Exactly.
somebody like you who's high performance. You actually
Yeah.
start working too much because it's not like you're going to work, clock on at 9. It's
Yeah.
the opposite problem, isn't it? It's not
Oh.
slacking off, it's doing too much.
Exactly. That is my point exactly. Having clarity on your plan and pacing yourself and giving yourself permission to pause when you need to as well. It's a process, and you've just got to trust that process. Be consistent.
It's been a theme throughout. I mean, I know personally that you and George are doing massive hours at the moment, and sometimes you need somebody there. That's why you need a coach and a mentor to say, it's not about saying, "Hey, Karla, come on." It's like, "Hey, Karla, back off, right? Find some time for yourself. You're going to be better doing less." Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So this is my favorite question. When it is all said and done, all right, at the end of the day, what legacy do you want to leave in the world?
This is actually a really hard one, I have to say, because in the big picture, we're not here for very long. So you want to make as much impact on this earth while you're here. And for me, that's making a positive impact on other people's lives, as many lives as possible. So if I can help bring as many people as possible to a healthier, more sustainable way of living physically, but also build mental resilience, strength, confidence to their character, then that's my legacy. Leaving a stamp on people's lives a little bit in a positive way. I think that's really, really important to me.
Karla, you're an inspiration. You're a wonderful person. You've become a great friend. I'm better off having you in my world, as is everyone else. Thank you so much. I know you're so busy, for taking the time to be on the show and sharing all of those wonderful insights and a little bit of yourself with all of the listeners. Karla, I hope that we can get you back on again sometime soon.
Thanks for having me. I've had a great time.
Make sure you visit www.ontopper.com.au to download your fast track formula and access featured guests, tips, guides, and coaching programs. That's www.ontop, P for performance, A for academy.com.au.